Chapter 3: The Truth Unveiled. The silence aboard the hibernation ship was almost oppressive, broken only by the faint hum of its dormant systems and the occasional mechanical chirp from Kiki. Jax stood across from Alara, her piercing eyes locked onto his, brimming with intensity that made him feel uncomfortably small. He shifted his weight, trying to ignore the knot forming in his stomach. "You didn't answer my question," Alara said, her voice steady but laced with urgency. "Why are you here?" Jax hesitated, the words catching in his throat. "I'm just a scavenger. I pick apart old ships for parts to sell." "I didn't mean to wake you. I didn't even know what this place was." Alara's expression softened slightly, though her posture remained tense. "Scavenger," she repeated, almost to herself. "And the galaxy? What's its state? Are the systems united? Is there peace?" Jax let out a humorless laugh. "United? Not even close. The galaxy's on the brink of war. The major factions are barely talking to each other. If anything, they're looking for excuses to start fighting." Alara's jaw tightened. She looked away for a moment, her gaze sweeping over the rows of hibernation pods that surrounded them. "So nothing has changed," she muttered. "We sacrificed everything, and the galaxy is still at war with itself." Before Jax could respond, a deep, resonant voice echoed through the chamber. "Correction. The galaxy has been at war with itself for over 25 billion years. The cycles repeat, as they always do." Jax jumped, spinning around. Kiki's optic flickered in alarm. "Who said that?" "I did." A shimmering light coalesced near the central console, forming the translucent figure of a humanoid AI. Its features were sharp and regal, with an air of ancient authority. "I am the monitoring AI of this vessel, designated Sentinel. It was I who sent the distress signal." "Finally, someone else to talk to," Kiki quipped. "Let me guess you've been sitting here playing babysitter for a billion years. Sounds thrilling." Sentinel's gaze settled on Kiki. "Your cynicism is noted, young construct. My purpose is not to entertain, but to protect the lives entrusted to me. Something you, in your limited operational span, may struggle to comprehend." Kiki's optic flared, a sign of her irritation. "I comprehend inefficiency just fine." Alara stepped forward, cutting off the brewing argument. "Sentinel, how long have we been in stasis? And why was I awakened now?" The AI regarded her solemnly. "You have been in stasis for 1.02 billion years. The awakening protocol was initiated due to the detection of a high-probability threat, the re-emergence of the Xylox. Initial sensor data suggests a forward scout group has breached the periphery of the galaxy." A chill ran down Jax's spine. He glanced at Alara, whose expression had gone rigid. "The Xylox?" he asked cautiously. "You said that name before, but who or what are they?" Alara turned to him, her voice tight with a mixture of fear and resolve. "They're not just a threat. They're the end of everything. The Xylox are a hive-mind species that consumes entire star systems, leaving nothing behind. They're relentless, hyper-intelligent, and utterly devoid of mercy or emotion." Jax's mouth went dry. He couldn't fathom a force like that, something so destructive it made the galactic tensions he'd grown up with seem trivial. "And humans fought them?" he asked, incredulous. "We didn't just fight them," Alara said. "We stopped them, though only barely. A billion years ago, humanity was at its peak. We were explorers, builders, dreamers. But when the Xylox invaded, we had no choice but to become warriors. We united under a single purpose: survival." She paused, her gaze distant as if she were staring into the past. "It took everything we had to drive them back. Entire fleets were lost, planets sacrificed. When the war ended, we knew it wasn't truly over. The Xylox never stop. So humanity made a choice. Most of us left, venturing into other galaxies to find a way to defeat them permanently. But a contingent stayed behind us. We were meant to guard this galaxy, to be its last line of defense if the Xylox ever returned." Jax's mind reeled. The weight of her words pressed down on him, the scale of the story dwarfing anything he'd ever known. "And now they're back," he murmured. Sentinel interjected. "Preliminary sensor data suggests a small incursion, likely a scouting force. However, if left unchecked, the Xylox will escalate their efforts. So we wake everyone else, Alara said, her tone decisive. We need every soldier ready to fight. Jack stepped back, shaking his head. Wait, you're talking about war. A galaxy-wide war. Do you know what that'll mean? The destruction, the lives lost? My father fought in war, and it broke him. He always said there are no winners in war, only survivors. Alara's expression softened slightly. I understand your fear. I've seen war too. But this isn't a war of choice, Jax. If the Xylox aren't stopped, there won't be survivors. There won't be anything. Kiki hovered closer, her voice unusually subdued. He's right about one thing, though. A war this big could tear the galaxy apart, even if you win. How do you convince an entire galaxy to follow you when they've spent eons fighting each other? Alara hesitated, clearly grappling with the enormity of the task. Sentinel spoke again. The awakening of the others will provide strategic and diplomatic minds capable of addressing such challenges. The galaxy's survival may very well depend on humanity's leadership. Jax felt the weight of 1 billion years of history pressing down on him. He looked at Alara, her determination shining through the fear she no doubt felt. In that moment, he realized something. She wasn't just a soldier. She was a symbol of a past that might hold the key to the future. You're serious about this, he said quietly. I have to be, Alara replied. If the Xylox aren't stopped, everything you know, your people, your world, will be gone. Jax sighed, the enormity of the situation threatening to crush him. He glanced at Kiki, who emitted a strange pattern Jax knew was meant to emulate a shrug. Well, you've already woken her up, Kiki said. Might as well go all in. Reluctantly, Jax nodded. All right. But if we're doing this, we need a plan. Alara gave him a small, grateful smile. Thank you, Jax. Together, we'll make sure there's a galaxy left to fight for. As Sentinel began activating the protocols to awaken the rest of the hibernating humans, Jax couldn't shake the feeling that he'd just crossed a line he could never come back from. And somewhere in the cold void beyond the galaxy, the Xylox were amassing.